Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt overwhelmed by your flaws? Those moments when self-doubt creeps in and you wonder if you'll ever be good enough. You're not alone. In fact, this universal struggle connects us all in a beautifully human way. Think about a master potter working with clay. The most cherished pieces often bear unique marks and characteristics that make them special. Similarly, our imperfections aren't mistakes. They're the very places where God's grace shines through most brilliantly. The Apostle Paul understood this profound truth when he wrote about his own struggles. "My grace is sufficient for you," God told him, "for my power is made perfect in weakness." These words remind us that our imperfections aren't barriers to God's love. They're gateways to experiencing it more deeply. Consider this. Every scar tells a story of healing. Every struggle you've overcome has built resilience. Every mistake has taught wisdom. These aren't flaws to hide. They're testimonies of growth and God's faithfulness in your journey. Let's explore 3 powerful truths about embracing our imperfections through God's grace. First, understand that perfection isn't the goal. Authenticity is. When we stop trying to meet impossible standards and start living authentically, we create space for genuine connection with both God and others. Second, your struggles don't diminish your worth. They enhance your capacity for compassion. Think about how your own challenges have helped you understand and support others. That's not coincidence, it's divine design. Your imperfections are tools in God's hands, helping you relate to and serve others in unique ways. Third, grace isn't about earning approval. It's about accepting love that's already yours. Imagine a parent's love for their child. They don't love their child because they're perfect. They love them completely, imperfections and all. God's love for you is infinitely greater. Let's get practical about embracing this truth. Start each day by acknowledging one aspect of yourself you typically criticize. Instead of harsh judgment, practice speaking words of grace. Remember, God's view of you isn't based on your performance, but on His unconditional love. When you catch yourself in self-criticism, pause and ask, would I speak this way to someone I love? Would I say this to a friend struggling with the same issue? Let this awareness guide you towards self-compassion. Create a grace journal where you record moments when your perceived weaknesses became strengths. Maybe your sensitivity, often seen as a weakness, allowed you to comfort someone in pain. Perhaps your struggle with patience taught you valuable lessons about perseverance. Remember the biblical story of Moses? He worried about his speech impediment, viewing it as a disqualifying flaw. Yet God used that very characteristic as part of His divine plan. Your perceived flaws might be precisely what God intends to use for His purpose. The journey of embracing imperfection isn't about lowering standards. It's about raising our awareness of God's grace. It's about understanding that our worth isn't measured by our performance, but by our identity as God's beloved children. As you move forward, challenge yourself to view your imperfections through God's eyes. See them as opportunities for grace to work in your life. Let them be reminders that you don't have to be perfect to be precious, valuable, and deeply loved. Your imperfections don't define you, they refine you. They're not obstacles to overcome, but opportunities to experience God's grace in deeper ways. Today, right now, you can choose to embrace this truth. In your imperfection, you are perfectly loved. Take this moment to release the burden of perfection. Breathe in God's grace. Your flaws aren't fatal. They're fertile ground for God's love to grow. You are not a project to be fixed, but a beloved child being transformed by grace, one beautiful imperfection at a time.